It was 99 when I left for work this morning, and when I got back just now, well, a while ago, it was 101. So I wish to thank all 101 of you, especially number 100, but not number 101, you can blow off, for subscribing. I'm kidding, by the way. Thank you, 101 as well. So in honor of this landmark achievement, which is worth 5 points on the Xbox Live Arcade store, I thought I would introduce us all, except myself, because I'm the one introducing and I'm already familiar with them, 3 different terms. The first of which will be theist. Theist, if that wasn't clear enough. A theist is someone who believes in a god or many gods. The god is typically personal in that they respond to their followers, care about them, try to get into a relationship, as in some versions of Christianity. It may interact with the universe. It also created that universe it interacts with. It has other various attributes like this. This is a step forward from deism, which is a belief that some godlike being created the universe and then disappeared, never to be seen again. Theism is deism plus more details. The often considered opposite of theism, but incorrectly so, is atheism, the lack of a belief in God. Now, I say oft considered but incorrectly so because atheism is not the opposite of theism. Theism is a belief. Atheism is the absence. Now, these 2 points are binary. They are not on a spectrum. You go from 0, no belief in God, to belief in God. If you only slightly believe in a God, then I'm sorry, but you do actually believe in God. The word is right there. You somewhat believe in a God. You believe. If you don't, you're an atheist. How is this not the opposite, you may be asking? Because if you don't believe something, you obviously believe that it's not true, right? Wrong, because there's a third position. Anti-theism. Anti-theism is the belief that no gods exist. The rejection of the existence of gods. To be an atheist does not require you to believe that no gods exist. It's a bit like how a square is a rectangle, but a rectangle is not a square. A rectangle is defined as a 4-sided shape with 4 right angles and 2 pairs of equal sides. A square is defined as a 4-sided object with 4 right angles and 4 identical sides. A square has 2 pairs of equal length sides. It fits under the category of a rectangle, but a rectangle has different length pairs, so it doesn't fit into the definition of a square. In the analogy, an anti-theist would be a square, while an atheist would be the rectangle. Being an anti-theist requires you not to believe in a god. You cannot simultaneously say that I believe that no gods exist and I also believe that a god exists. They're contradictory positions. So you have anti-theism at one end and theism at the other end, with the neutral position in the middle. These are the opposites. Anti-theism and theism. Well, theism and anti-theism. I'm going to keep my sides straight here. Theism, belief in a god. Anti-theism, no belief in a god, plus belief that no gods exist. Atheism, basically, it's That's what it is. It's Another example to justify this. Done focusing, okay. autofocus doesn't work always with a mask. This is my wallet. If I tell you that I have $1 million in this wallet, do you believe me? Probably not. Do you believe that I'm lying? Yes. Extreme example. Let's bring it down a bit. If I say that I have $50 in my wallet, do you believe me? If so, why? You haven't seen inside the wallet. You don't know if I keep any money of this. You don't even know if this is my wallet. I just said it was, but can you really believe me on that? If you do not believe that I have $50 in this wallet, why? The default position is, You're not going to waste time believing me when I say that I have $50 in this, and you're not going to waste time believing that I'm lying, actively lying to you when I say that I have $50 in this. The default position you have, sorry, losing my voice. The default position you have is, I don't believe that he has $50, and I don't believe he's lying. I just have no opinion on the subject. Atheism is exactly like that. It is no opinion on the subject. Anti-theism is, in the wallet example, I believe that he does not have $50 in that wallet, and theism is, I believe that he does have $50 in the wallet. Now the truth is that I'm not going to tell you. But that is the opposite end of the spectrum. So, to confuse you further, and I understand that it's a bit difficult because of the way the language works. Not believing and believing that there is no God is complicated for some people to grasp. I'm not saying this in a demeaning fashion. It is. It's rhetorical, it's complicated. We're not used to dealing with middle grounds like that. But another fine example is if I say, this object is red. If this object in my other hand is not red, what color is it? You don't know. So an atheist is basically not red. You can't know what I do believe in, you can't know what I don't believe in just from I don't believe in your God. Anti-theists have a belief, which is a belief in no God. Theists have a belief in a God, and they usually are quite keen to tell you with documents and extremely long and inflammatory videos. That was a bit of humor there. Hope you enjoyed that. So, to clarify, theist, which I'm not, atheist, which I am, and anti-theist on this side, which I also am. Remember, you can't be an anti-theist without being an atheist. This is the reason for that is different question. Do you believe in a God? Yes, believe in a God. No. No. Do you believe that no gods exist? Yes. Not necessarily. And nope, I do believe in a God. Different points, different questions with different answers. So the theist-atheist spectrum is over here, and the anti-theist-atheist spectrum is over here. This isn't a spectrum, it's black or white. This isn't a spectrum, it's black or white. Now, why am I an anti-theist? Do I think I can prove that no gods exist? No. And I think you'll find that pretty much every single anti-theist will say the same. They cannot prove that no gods exist. You cannot prove a negative of that kind. The reason I believe that is because every time a religious argument has been brought forward in favor of one god, it has failed miserably. Sometimes it has failed even in the eyes of biblical scholars who were colleagues of the people bringing the arguments forward. A lot of Christian arguments in favor of the existence of God have been debunked by Christians, which is an interesting point. Is that proof that no gods exist? No. I simply believe that no gods exist. I do not make the claim that I can prove no gods exist. I do not hold the opinion that it is impossible for gods to exist, because there's always a slight possibility. Is it improbable? Oh yeah, it's extremely improbable that a God exists because it doesn't make any sense. But is it impossible? I'm not holding that position. Most anti-theists will say the same. Atheists, even more middle ground, obviously, because that's what they are. They do not hold that opinion. They simply, Theists, on the other hand, and this is the difference between anti-theists and theists, theists will, in most cases, I would be willing to say that they can prove that their God exists. Now, most atheists bring up the fact that every single time a theist attempts to prove their God, they either prove the existence of any God, which is why you have ideas like the flying spaghetti monster running around, or they disprove their own points. I covered a bit of this in my Proofread Yourself video, where people say things that ends up contradicting what they were saying. So that's the difference between anti-theist and theist. They are at opposite ends. Atheists are this middle ground. But it's interesting how anti-theism, which is usually associated with rationality, holds the reasonable position while atheists say they can do what they can't. I'm going to cut this video here. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you again for subscribing. I have another video on the way that is different from most of my videos in that I have done quite a bit of research on the subject. It's delayed presently because I am waiting on confirmation of some facts from a coworker of mine who is finishing his studies to be a pharmacist. It is another video on the subject of homeopathy using a real-world example called this. In case you can't find out what that means, it's a drug called warfarin. So a lot of research has been going into this video. I'm getting my facts checked to make sure that I'm as accurate as possible. And as soon as I have that information, the other video will follow. I hope you enjoyed. And remember, just because I wear a mask does not mean I don't appreciate number 101.